Hello and welcome to Yoga for Consciousness. My name is Venus Castleberg. I'm really excited to start this adventure with you. And I thought today that maybe we would start with some of the basics and some of the setup. Because I know a lot of times people don't choose yoga because they're like, well, I don't have the stuff. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, you don't need the stuff. You could have a yoga mat, or you could have a towel or a blanket. Those will work too. I will say a yoga mat can be easier for things like balancing poses and stuff like that, but not necessary. So we definitely want to destroy and create all the misnomers of having to have the right equipment to practice yoga. Because as you may discover on this adventure that we're going to start very soon on Earth Day, I'm very excited, is that we can do yoga anywhere, at any time, for any amount of length of time. So it could be 2 poses while you're standing outside next to a tree. It could be an hour-long practice in your house, or on the beach, wherever. So just know that however you practice yoga and however you choose to practice yoga now and in the future is completely up to what works for you, and you don't need the stuff to do it. So I'm going to show you a few things, and then we're going to have an introduction video, and you can go grab whatever you have, right? So if you have a yoga mat, great, you can go grab that. If you have a bolster, this is a bolster, you can grab a bolster. If you've practiced yoga before, you've seen probably this before. If you don't have that, grab a couple of pillows. Grab the back cushion to a chair. It could be anything. And then grab a blanket of any sort. It doesn't have to be a specific blanket. Any blanket will work. And then some of the extras. Again, you don't need these necessarily, but they can make things a little bit easier, and is to have some blocks. They have foam blocks. They have really inexpensive blocks at places like Walmart, Target. You don't have to spare a lot of expense for these, but having 2 of these, especially if you're relatively unflexible and have never practiced yoga before, can be very helpful. Again, not necessary. I will always show you modifications on how to adjust when you don't have those things. And then a strap. A strap is a good thing to have. This is a 2-ring strap, a yoga strap, basically just called a yoga strap. Again, you don't need this necessarily, so if you don't have a strap, just grab a hand towel. A hand towel will work great until you get a strap, or you may never get a strap, you just use your hand towel. And then something I like just for the end of restorative is an eye pillow. Again, this is an extra, you don't need it. You can literally take the pillowcase off of one of your pillows and use that as an eye pillow. So there is no need to go buy any of this stuff. And if you have it, great. And if you don't, then just get the modifications. So now we'll take a quick, it'll be about a minute. We'll have the intro, and you can go get whatever stuff you have, and we'll practice our first yoga class today. Namaste. Hello and welcome back to Yoga for Consciousness. Hopefully you found some props laying around your house. If not, that's okay too. I did name this program Yoga for Consciousness because consciousness includes everything and judges nothing, which means you can show up exactly the way you are and exactly the way that you're not. You can be flexible or not. You can wear jeans or a dress or yoga clothes or not. You could come naked because we're online, so you could do whatever you want. But like letting go of all of the points of view that we have about what yoga is and what yoga isn't and where is the appropriate place to do it. We can do it on a yoga mat. We can do it on a towel. We can do it on the floor. We don't need anything. You could do it on the floor. We can do it outside. And that is one of the things that I'm super excited about in this monthly program called Yoga for Consciousness coming up on Earth Day, is that we're going to do yoga in various places all around the world. And just for fun, right? Like, oh, we're on a hike. Look, we can actually do a tree pose next to a tree. It's that simple. So we're going to show you some basics today and just do some gentle movement as an introduction and what else is possible beyond here for us to explore together. One other thing I'd like to just say is please, please, please do not push yourself to pain. If you feel pain, please back off. It's not supposed to be painful. It can be uncomfortable, it can be a stretch, but if there's pain, then that's not a good thing, and we want to be very gentle with that and back off. And then if I might give you some tips and pointers, but if you try the tips I'm saying, and you're like, that doesn't really work for me, and you want to sit a different way or do something different, do something different. I don't have a point of view. I just want you to know that you can do yoga any place, anytime, and feel better within minutes. So hopefully you grabbed either a pillow or a bolster, or maybe you had a cushion or even a blanket. Whatever it is that you grabbed, go ahead and just have a seat on the edge of it now. If you sit on the edge of it, your pelvis tends to tilt forward, which helps sit up straight. That's actually one of the reasons why we round so much when we're at our desks, is because we're not tilting that pelvis forward and creating that natural length in the spine. And again, find a comfortable seat for you. You could sit crisscross applesauce, or this is one of my favorites. I used to actually meditate 2 hours, sometimes 2 hours a day. So I needed to find a position that didn't hurt my knees or my ankles. And so this is how I did it, just stacking one heel in front of the other, which allows your shins to lay flat on the floor or towards the floor. Again, if you're really unflexible or tight in any way, please don't judge yourself. It's okay. We all start somewhere, and you can get more flexible over time, and being more flexible is not good and right, and being unflexible is not bad and wrong. I know that's blowing some of your minds right now, but it's true. It's what I would love to invite you to more here in this program and in this class today is that you just are kind and compassionate to you and don't judge your body where it is. And when you don't judge your body where it is, it can change with greater ease. It is not judgment that makes our bodies change. It is allowance that lets our bodies change. And let's go ahead and place our hands on our thighs, close our eyes, and just take your deepest barriers down, even the ones you don't know about, especially the deepest barriers you might have to your body right now. And any other barriers. And barriers are interesting, and you created them, so great news, you could pick them back up. But just try, even for the next 10 seconds, to lower your barriers to your body, to yourself, and say, hi, body. Maybe say, thank you, body. Thank you, body, for being my vessel. Can you find one thing to be grateful for in your body? Because a little trick for you, judgment cannot exist with gratitude. So if you find yourself judging your body or judging something about your yoga practice or this class or anything, you can just let it go and find some gratitude. Be like, I'm so grateful that I'm even here. I'm even watching this video. You might not have been practicing this video, and that's great. You're just watching the video. That's okay too. Because there's something in you that has a curiosity. Is there a different possibility with yoga? And I'm going to tell you, yes, there is. So now wherever you are, also if it's uncomfortable for you to sit on the floor, you can sit in a chair. Please don't feel like you have to be uncomfortable at any point. You can sit in a chair, you can sit on a couch, you can sit on the floor. We're going to sit in the grass, I'm sure. We're going to sit next to trees. So wherever you sit is perfect, right? But wherever you're sitting today, just tune into your breath. There's no right or wrong way to breathe. We're just beginning to bring our attention to our breath. When was the last time you paid attention to your breath? And then drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And let's just do some half circles. We're going to drop the chin to the chest and the left ear to the left shoulder. And then chin to chest, right ear to right shoulder. Just do a few of those on your own, at your own pace. You can go quicker, you can go slower. You also can pause, which is something that I do recommend often in yoga, is maybe you feel like your left side of your neck is feeling really tight today. You're like, so it feels really good having my right ear towards my right shoulder. You could just pause here. You can even take your right hand to your left ear and stretch it a little bit farther. Awesome. And then if that felt good, you can switch over to the other side and take your left hand to your right ear. Awesome. And then let's do some full circles. Circle all the way back and all the way chin towards the chest. Back of the head back towards your back. And switch directions. Full circles. Going the opposite way. The other thing that I see trip people up in yoga a lot is oh, she said to your left. And you go to your right. It does not matter what direction you go. I might say, go to your right, but if you go to your left, it's great. Which direction you go to does not matter. So, come back to neutral. And then let's do some just seated cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, chin away from the chest, chest open, gaze up. And exhale, round the spine, press the chin towards the chest. And inhale, gaze up, look up. And exhale, round and press back. Doing a few of those on your own. And maybe you're exhaling as you come forward and inhaling as you go back. It does not matter. If you do it going forward, you might just have some more room for air. But that's it. And it's not right or wrong, good or bad. And come back to neutral. Let's do some circles with that upper body. So chest comes forward, gaze forward, chin comes towards the chest, back. Chin away from the chest goes forward, and roll back. Doing a few of those on your own, at your own pace. And switch directions. And come back to neutral. Awesome. So whatever you're sitting on, whether it's a blanket, bolster, pillow, doesn't matter, but just move it off to the side. And let's come to all fours. And come to all fours, knees directly underneath the hips, wrists directly underneath the shoulders. Melt the heart, gaze forward, and moving cat-cows. Toes curled under, just open up the toes a little bit. And then inhale, hips up, head up. Again, if you don't have flexibility anywhere, it doesn't matter. It's like, start where you are. You're perfect wherever you are today. And I can promise you it'll be different tomorrow. Inhale, hips up, head up, gaze up. Exhale, round the spine and press back onto the heels. Doing a few of those on your own, at your own pace. You might take really long, deep breaths. You might breathe faster. It doesn't matter. Awesome. And then come back to neutral. Keep your toes curled under and sit back onto your heels, opening up your toes a little bit. Now, if your toes are really tight, this is probably as far as you're going to want to go, is right here. Okay? But if you like to go a little deeper, you can sit up onto your heels or stay here and just breathe. Breathe into your toes as if they had little lungs themselves. And then walk forward. Let's drop the toes flat on the floor, toes together. Widen your knees a couple of, maybe 1.5 feet apart, or as wide as your mat if you have a mat. But if you don't, just about 1.5 feet. And then come down to cat stretch. Forehead towards the floor. And relax. And find your breath. And then slowly walk back up. So come and have a seat on the yoga mat. Your knees are bent, and we're just going to slowly come down onto our backs. You can put your arms out if you'd like. You can roll vertebra by vertebra and slowly come all the way down onto your back. And because today was just a little yoga mini, we're going to extend our legs straight out, 1 foot at a time. Palms upturned by your side. Let your feet flap apart. Find a comfortable spot. Relax into the floor. Relax your jaw. relax your mind. Just surrender and relax. This is final Shavasana. And just take a couple of deep breaths here. Let everything go. Everything that you just did in your practice, your day. Shavasana can be done for a minute or 20 or longer. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, perhaps do a morning stretch, stretching your arms overhead and your feet in the opposite direction. And then rolling onto your side, whatever side you like to roll onto, but you can use your arm as a pillow to rest onto right here. And just pause here for a second. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for practicing yoga today. Again, letting go of any judgments or points of view you have about what it was or wasn't. And just be grateful. Grateful for being here. Grateful for the practice. And then slowly roll yourself up, coming back to seated. Finding that comfortable seat, whatever it is for you. I like to alternate the whatever ankle's in front. And you can sit on a blanket here too. We'll only be here for a few seconds. And then hands in prayer position, which is Anjali Mudra in front of the heart. And Namaste means the light within me bows to the light within you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing yoga today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next adventure. Bye.